Hey guys, welcome to day 56, and today we're going to finish off what we had a look at last night. Now, interestingly, I basically didn't do anything from last night, but what I did do was restart this do this, set it all up again, didn't really change anything, and guess what? It suddenly started working. So, let's have a look at the result, shall we? So, if we remember last night, this was basically hitting nothing. Okay? Now, it's not hitting nothing anymore. Okay? So, you can see that we hit our stag in the top left. Etc. etc. Okay. So now what we need to do is work out whether we do this or not. So if we plug this in, right, it's going to basically break. Okay, but that's alright because we're going to fix it after that. So now, if we hit something that isn't wildlife, or basically it hasn't got arrow cam, then it should not spawn. It should not give us an arrow cam. Okay, that's what we want. Now, if we hit the deer, it should have given us the arrow cam. Okay, but what we need to do is make sure that our actor has this tag. Okay. So, does it ever get here is the question. And does our deer, now I think it does, but we just need to make sure that this has got well, we'd better type an in tag. Dismiss that, and it's got arrow cam. Okay, so we're going to hit this button, and then we're going to fix the issues, hopefully. And there we have our true. Resume. And there we go. Okay, that's not what I wanted to do. Now you'll notice we didn't get any errors there because we spawned that, okay? Next thing we need to do is start checking where it's going wrong when we basically hit something that hasn't got an arrow cam. Right, so if we hit that, that's going to give us an error. Okay, and it's in BP arrow. Okay, so everything with an arrow right, so that's fine. Okay. So what we do here is we basically say is valid. Okay, and we're going to need that twice. We can drag this out a bit. We're going to put this in here. And if it is valid, we're going to do that. We're going to straighten this up a bit. And if it's not valid, we're going to go straight to here. Right? Okay, give me a second. ERG Digital Dev. I'll try and make it bigger. Okay, so hopefully that's better for you guys. And basically we're going to do that. And we're going to need this again. Okay, so basically what we're doing is if we do shoot and we want to do something with the camera, then we are basically stopping it. Okay. Okay. So we hopefully shouldn't get a gazillion of these. But it's okay. If we do, we'll just fix it. It's fine. Okay. So we didn't get any errors. Okay. I'm going to press play again here. There we go. That's weird how that arrow. Right. So this time we get the camera. Okay. Now, so that's all the errors fixed, okay? So we can quite safely do like right, so we can shoot him. Right, and we get our camera. If we shoot just the normal target, it doesn't do the thing. Right, now the interesting thing here is going to be, right, we've only got one arrow there when we should have had two, but you'll notice that the one actually went above our heads. So we're going to need to make sure that we basically ignore ourselves and basically anything else. Okay. And in fact, what we might need to do here is spawn this slightly in front. Okay, but we'll deal with that. But the thing we need, oh well, actually, that's working, right? But we can say one. Okay. Now, I've taken the breakpoints off, and the question is, well, one of the questions are, why is it doing that? We did hit the stag there, apparently, even though we kind of didn't. We hit the stag again, but you'll notice that the arrow isn't quite working properly, right? So basically what we need to do here is we're spawning it on the camera, which is fine. Right? ¿Es 20 o algo? Pienso. No mucho. Wait a minute, guys. Ok, mañana. Ok, cuidado. Okay guys, sorry about that, we're back. Right, so that's all working, right? But what we need to do is basically spawn it in front of ourselves. Okay. So this transform is going to have to change slightly. Right. Hi, the gaming, how are you? Right, so what we need to actually do here is basically do this. So we're going to have to get the forward vector of our rotation, right, again. And I'm going to bring it down here. I suppose we could do that. It doesn't actually, this will do. This can stay, right? Because I'm going to have to move all this prediction stuff anyway. But what we actually need to do is move this forward on the X. Right, so we have to multiply this. Right, and well, I'll tell you what, we've got our arrow, okay? What we'll do is we'll measure it, okay? So if I add a scene component, okay, and then I move its relative position to the back, so that's 38, and then we move it to the front, so this looks like it's going to be 100 altogether, pretty much, right? So I'm going to delete that again. Right, we've not changed that any. So we're going to do it by 120. Right. Then we're going to add these together. And why did I hit that side button? I don't know, but I did. Right. So this is going to go here. This will go here. Then this will go here. Okay, so that should launch our arrow from in front, an arrow's length in front of the camera. So that once you look, it shouldn't get stopped by our own head, hopefully. Okay, so we hit. And bizarrely, it's not doing it. Now, we must, I'm guessing that this number is not enough. So I'm going to do 200. So the first prediction is going to be out in front, right? And there we go. So you'll notice that if we shoot this, we don't get our arrow cam. If we shoot this bad guy, we don't get the arrow cam, but it does do something to him. But if we shoot the deer, we get the arrow cam. Okay? So we can obviously also shoot that. Yes. It is going to be a bit of a survival game. Right, so now that we've got that successfully working, just for you guys in the chat that haven't seen this, I'm going to play the actual start to let you see, and hopefully it works. Okay. It'll take a second or two to start. But don't worry about that. Okay. Right, hopefully you guys are getting sound. Okay. So this is cutting into our first. Yeah, I think we've turned it off because we play it so much that it becomes a bit annoying. But there is music. Okay. So once we can move the camera, that means we can get up, and that's just the start. Okay. So we're gradually filling the world out, but you can see there on the left we've got time, we've got our indicators for health, hunger, thirst, and the temperature. Right? Got interactive items, but the world's just been filled out, so it's actually easier to let you see it in the test map. Right? So basically, if you watch, right, we require an item fuel, right? So this is fuel. So if I pick this up, right, and then do this, we can light the fire. Right? And then you'll see my temperature. I've got the time. I've got the speed of time going so fast that it doesn't last very long. Right? I had it speeded up so that the monsters were. I did a bit of work on monster spawning in the last couple of days, so I basically speeded everything up. This should be 0.8. Okay. So you can see there that our temperature starts going up. Okay. The closer we get, the further away we get, temperature goes down. Etc, etc. We can take that, require a key, right? But that's the key. So we can take this food, then we can now open this. Right, so that's all working. Then you can look in the inventory. Okay. And we can see use. Right, now if we do that, you can see that our food is going up. And that was food. I need to take a little bit of look at this because obviously that's not right, but we'll worry about that in a minute. Use that. You can see that our food went up, I believe. And yeah, we can do all that. I'll need to take a look at that inventory. We can climb ladders, even though we haven't got all the animations yet, but it does work. That's a weird little thing, it's just because we haven't got a... Right, the snow deforms, etc. I wonder if that's an actual ladder. Nah. So my colleague is working on the levels. You can see that we've got our NPCs who've got jobs right? So he's basically set up to chop wood, and it's just like a little test to see if our NPC jobs are working. This guy's set up to fish, right? So that was just a little test because we're using an asset AI to do that with some tweaks by me to get it to actually like load in the tools and stuff like that. But otherwise, it's all working. Now, the other cool thing you can do is now you'll notice that earlier okay, right, we can shoot these guys, right? And yeah, we're losing control. You see, look, he got hit. Right, we're losing control here, so we need to check when we're losing control. Right, but basically, oh damn it, I'll need to start again. Right, basically, what we need to do is we need to pick up the wood, we need to start the fire, right? Then we put our arrow in the fire, right, and that lights the arrow, or at least it should have. Yeah, you can see it. And now if we shoot this dude, he dies. Okay? So you can't shoot a dude with a normal arrow, but you have to basically, well, it's because I'm not resetting that yet, which I need to obviously do as well. But if you shoot the dudes with a normal arrow, it doesn't do it. It doesn't kill them, which is the point, right? That you need to basically start a fire to keep these guys away at night, right? So if I shoot this guy now, you'll notice he just takes a hit, but it doesn't go down. Okay? And yeah. So anyway, it's all good. So let's tidy this up, shall we? So we're going to have to drag that out a bit. We're going to have to drag that out a bit. We have to drag that up a bit. We have to drag that along a bit. Everything that's not used, let's get rid of it. We don't need that. Okay. That is going to go up here. And drag this over to here a bit. It's not ideal, is it? Okay, well, let's give ourselves some more space then, shall we? Right. That's going to go over there a bit. That's going to go there a bit. That's going to go in there. Then let's tidy this bit up a bit. I don't need to see this for the moment. Okay, we're getting the hit from here. Damn it, hit that side button again. And we'll move this. I believe to it there. Try it anyway. Looks alright to me. Move that to there. Move that to there. Straighten that up. But of course we're going to go and mess that up in a second. When we do that, whatever. Right, we're straight into reroute node. That'll do it. Right. So there we go. So what this does here is it adds a hint of luck, right? Of how good or bad your bow and arrow is, basically. So we could actually put in the bow how accurate the bow is as a set of bow stats, and then basically add them here to our offset, or multiply a number by how bad your bow is. Work off that premise or something, but the ability's there to do it. Okay, so the point being that unless you're Robin Hood, which you're not, right? You can't, it's not going to let you, like, for example, you'll see that those two arrows didn't actually even though I fired them from the very same exact position, they were slightly different, right? And that's basically reality. Right? And you'll see there. Oh yeah, forgot to. Right, a minute. Right, so this is dead animal stag. Right? Now, I can't exactly remember. I don't think I need to put anything else. But the whole point here right is you can skin it. And once you've skinned it, it gives you food. Okay, and then once you've got food, you can eat it. Okay? So we've still to add some assets in, and the thing is that you can do that sort of stuff. Right? So that you can actually view your stuff. Okay. So there's a lot of systems in play here that actually work. Now if we watch, right, at 10 o'clock, those monsters are going to despawn because basically it's sunrise. Okay? But I've programmed it so that it doesn't automatically do it. Right? Well, sorry, it automatically does it, but if the monster can see the player, then it doesn't despawn, right? So that you don't get the problem of monsters popping in and out in front of your eyes, okay? That doesn't happen, right? So at 10 o'clock, we can maybe speed it up again for you guys to see this, right? So basically those monsters that were standing on the other side should all have disappeared should disappear just shortly. Right? And they should have disappeared now. And you can see they've all disappeared. Okay? And then if we were to wait till 2 o'clock in the afternoon in the game, right, the same thing happens except they spawn, okay? But what happens is they spawn up here and there's one just slightly further away, but again they won't spawn if they can see you, right? So if I park myself here and waited till 2 o'clock in the afternoon, then they would spawn. Okay? So, on that, guys, I'm going to go and grab a cigarette. If you're enjoying the content, you're liking the look of the game, hit like and subscribe. Okay, check out the description for links to the game's Discord server, where you're welcome to join. Also my personal Discord, my Patreon, and my previous game on Steam, which is on sale for $1 on Steam. It's called FTD2, it's a tower defense game. I'll be back in a couple of minutes, guys, don't go anywhere. We'll just leave this running, and hopefully at 2 o'clock game time, we're going to spawn some monsters behind this house. Okay, I shall be right back. Hey up, Medguard. Right, that's me back. Sorry about that, guys. Right, is it 4 o'clock yet? Yeah, it is. Well, 4 o'clock in the game. That's what I mean. Right, so there should have been some monsters spawned up behind here. Or at least over here. Huh. Having said that, they could have wandered away. Huh. Right, anyway. So, what I'm going to do now is, I've realised the problem. Okay? Now, it's not really a problem, but it might be incapacitating for the player. Okay? Let me demonstrate. Player wants to hunt. Okay? So, player takes out bow. He wants to shoot that thing. Okay? But if I do that, and I only have it that they go immediately to arrow cam, right, that basically takes them out of control of the game. Now, if he is then next to a bad guy, we don't want that to happen, okay? So what I'm going to have to do is put an extra check in here. Right? And basically check for this, and so this is actually going to end up being an OR. Okay. Actually, it's not going to be an OR. It's going to be an AND. Okay. Then what I'm going to have to do, well, you see, we don't really want it to pause the game per se. We can do it in a more clever way. Right? I mean, yes, you could tell everything to stop, right? Do a time dilation thing. But wouldn't it be better, or any guys in the chat, let me know, but what my intention was is basically, if a monster can see the player, then don't activate arrow cam. Right? So we can test it. Okay? So what we'll do is, we'll do this function anyway. Monster cam check, let's call it. Okay, we're going to have an output. Then we're going to get all monsters. What? Get all actors of class. Now we could do this with tag if we wanted, right? And this is going to be BP base monster. Okay. Then we're going to probably want a local variable, and we'll call it temp temp monster spotted, let's call it, right? We'll set it to false, just to be sure. To be sure. Right. Next thing we're going to do is a for each with break. Okay. We do that. Okay. This is going to go in the completed. Okay. Then we're going to get our temp spotted. We're going to get it, and then we're going to grab it again. Except this time we're going to set it, and it's going to be set up here if it passes the 2 checks I'm going to do on it. Right. So we're just going to call it spotted. Right, so the first thing we're going to do in here is we're going to get actor location. Then we're going to get distance. Okay. Yeah, we'll do 2D. We'll ignore. Then we're going to get a reference to self. Then we're going to duplicate that. Okay. And then we're going to say if it's greater than $5,000, let's say, as a starter for 10. Sorry. What we're going to do is, well, we can do it that way if we want. Nah, we want to do it less than, just to keep it tidy, okay? So we'll do less than or equal to. Right? So we'll do this, 5,000. Right? If this is true, so we're going to branch. We're going to let it do the final check, right? But we want our easy checks done first. Okay. And now we can use a bit of previous code to work this out for us. Okay. So I have the code to check this. It is in our event manager, right? So we just basically go into there and this is the code here. Okay. We copy this And if it is valid, then we set our spotted to true. Okay, so we go back to here. Going to have to change a couple of things here, but that's okay. This goes in here. Or sorry, wait a minute. This one goes in here. And this doesn't need to be as high as that. Okay. And if this is valid, sorry. If this is not valid, we do this. No, I was right the first time. If it's not valid, we've hit the player, right? Which means that we've spotted them. Okay? If it isn't valid, we've hit something else, which means that there's something between the player and the monster, which means that we haven't been spotted. Okay? So, we do that. And then we do our break. Okay, so if we're spotted by one monster, we just break straight out of there. Okay. We don't want to do it for any other mobs if it's already been spotted. Right, so as I said, this is where making the widget size refactoring not work so well. You guys can see this better, but it makes it more difficult for me to actually do my thing. But anyway, we'll get there. We'll get there. Right. So there we go. It doesn't like something there. Ref car, char. And that's just self, so that's okay. We could have done it here as well. Just taken that out and left it as a reference to self. But either way, we're good to go. Okay. So the final thing is basically make this pure, save it, go back, drag this in, and then this goes to here. Okay. Now, probably we might get a slight performance boost if we do these on two separate branches, and only check this one if this one passes. Okay. But that's a little optimization issue. So now I'm going to hit save all. If we shoot this, basically we shouldn't go into arrow cam. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Ah, wait a minute. We actually want that as a knot. Right. We could either do it here or do it in the other one, but let's just do that. Right. Right, as I said, this is like my first iteration of dealing with this issue. And you can see that that worked there. Okay, because we didn't go into arrow cam. Okay. Now, what we should do is start getting some of the animations and sounds. Okay. Now, do we have we've got draw arrow, we've got recoil, okay, so it has to be this. There isn't actually really a sort of fire. Okay, well, whatever. Now, we're going to do recoil, and what we're going to do is we're going to create an anim montage, right? And then what we're going to do is pause it, and then it's going to be on full body. Okay. And our next thing is we have to go into our animation blueprint. Right. And into there. And okay. Now, what we have to do here is, I can't exactly remember, so we're going to have to look at our base locomotion and basically that's not what we wanted to do. This is what we wanted to do. We want to do this. Okay. And we now need to go back to our base locomotion, go to our with bow thingy, go to movement with bow. No. That. So we do that. And we do that, I believe. Okay. And now, when we go to fire, right, there is a play montage here. And so it's going to be recoil. Okay. Let's see if that works. I'm going to press play. It did work. See? It's not working right, but it did work, is what I mean. Now, what I'm going to do is the first person camera. Let's take a look. It's there, it's attached to the head slot, okay? Now, if we move it slightly, in fact, let's try something else, shall we? Right, because I'm going to try something else first. Okay, now if we look at our bow, or let's have a look at our animations, right? Right, so it's not in there. But it should be and possibly in here. Medieval bows. Right, we've got meshes. Right. Now the question is, where are the animations for the bow? Okay, so we're not going to worry about that. I'm going to go to here, right, and I know our bow, which is this new bow, right? Right, we've got bow mesh, right? And there's the Asian bow draw release. Ah, we don't want to do that. Right? But we do actually, you know what? I want to do that, and then I want to do that, and then I want to take that away. So it's under rigged bows, under weapons, right? Okay. Right, stop that for now. Right, so the question is, we want to play it in reverse, right? This should be the pulled back. Okay? And this should be like that. Right? So we're going to create a montage. Now this one doesn't need to be upper body or anything, right? Now I'm just wondering, if we can play this in reverse. Well, we're gonna have to find out, right? So in our new bow, we're gonna go to our event graph, right? And we'll add a custom event. Right? And we'll call it play shoot. I guess play shoot montage. Okay. And when we play the shoot montage, we're going to play montage. And I guess we're going to play it at -1. Right? And it's going to be that. Okay. And that's going to go there. We're going to stop that. We're going to go back to our pawn. We're going to go back to here. We're not going to play this montage. Right? We're getting the bow. And we're going to say play shoot montage. Okay. Now, I've got no idea if this is going to actually work or not, or do anything in fact. We'll have to wait and find out, I suppose. Try that again. Keep your eye on the bow. Right, so that's not doing a sodding thing. It is shooting the arrows though. It's just not playing that animation on the bow. Okay, well, you know. Let's go here. So I'm guessing possibly right, this is saying at 0.33, right? So right, wait a minute. Say 0.33. And we'll try that again. Alright, that didn't do anything. Okay. So that's not so good. So we've got to play montage. We could always just play the animation. But we can't play it in reverse. I mean, we could try it. just to see if it does anything. And we could tell it to loop for a laugh. You see? So that actually works. Okay. So we can set this up. Now the interesting thing is, can you play it in reverse? Apparently not. Right. I'm going to move that to there. So I'm thinking this actually, maybe it didn't work. Maybe it did, don't know. Did I never... that's the recoil montage. Did I select Asian? Right. Asian. Draw released montage. Let's try that again. Let's try it at 0. Hi G Gergo, how you doing, bud? I hope you're well. So if we press play, I don't think I've got the right animations here. I've not got the right set of animations, if you know what I mean. I'll need to get my guy to fix this. Right, so that's not playing at all. Right? It's just not playing. We'll set this to 0.33 and save that. Now I'm just wondering if that's actually seconds or if it's frames. I'm guessing it's seconds, right? It's doing something. But just not very much. Right? So what we'll do, if I go back to this montage, right? It's 9 frames. So it's kind of hardly surprising. Alright. So it's 9 frames. And I'm just wondering what this the starting position is. I've got to think that this is a float. It's the time. Right? Unless it's the percentage, but I don't see it being percentage either. But hey ho, you never know. I would have to check documentation on this one. But we'll try it at 100. Because it might be a percentage, I don't know. You never know with Unreal. I think it is doing it, it's just so bleeding fast that you can't see it. Right? You can see it flicking. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Let me know in the chat if you guys can see that or not, but this is kind of weird. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, right? I'm going to slow it down. I'm going to play it at 0.1, a tenth of the speed, and we'll see what it looks like, right? To see if it's actually going to be what we want. Hey Deadshot, how you doing, bud? Right, so right. So that's the finished position. Okay, so the whole thing happens so bleeding fast. Now, the one thing I've realised from this that I might need to muck about with is this bowl right? Should have two points on it. All right. Now, we're going to have to have a look at this mesh, because this mesh, if it hasn't got a notch socket on it, see how it's got the, there's the string draw. Okay. So I've got to say that the arrow should be fixed on a string draw. Right now, wow. Okay, whatever. We'll rename it to we'll just call it string socket. Okay. Seems like the best idea. String socket should do it. And if we go to bow, arrow mesh, let's have a look at our event graph. Okay. And our arrow mesh. Hey, pro tip jump. Happy game making. Yeah, happy as it comes. This mesh we're going to attach it to our string socket. Okay. And it's going to go attached to our bow. Okay. So now, if I go back to here, then our arrow should move with our montage. Okay? In theory. Which is going to kind of start getting us nearer to where we want to be regarding, right? So, okay. There's our arrow over there. And our arrow is moving. Look at that. Okay, that's fine. And I think that's because I've already got a relative position on the arrow mesh. You can see it there. Okay, this will be weird and wonky now. Or maybe it won't. Right, but see the problem now is this isn't actually socketed properly. We do have to do that. And now it's not exactly what we want, put it that way. What is going on with that? I mean, it looks to me anyway, well, actually, right, it looks to me like we need some minor adjustments as it is. Got 3.3, 3.4, right? Alright. So it looks to me when we are actually joining up, when we attach it to the socket, right? I don't know why the scale has went up to some weird number. But even then, I don't think that's the problem. In fact, you see this is 0.75. And this is 1.5. Is that now facing the wrong way, I believe? No, it's not. That's correct. Right, but you'll notice that our arrow mesh is 0.75. Right? Right, I'm going to make this 0.25, and that is so that I can actually see where it is on the player at this point in time, because if it's blocking out the camera and stuff, then we can't even get an idea of where it is in comparison to the player. Right, so it looks as if it's sticking out our back there, and it looks like our bow is facing basically the wrong way. Right, so you can see the arrow. Now if we press, you can see that that's going forward, right? So we know it's going to go back, right? But it's weird how number one, it's totally wonky, and number two, it's in the completely wrong position compared to the mesh. Right, I can only think that when I'm actually, when I spawn the bow, it's, there's something not right about it. Okay, so that is in the pawn. So let's have a look at that. And this is it here. We're spawning the bow. And we attach it to the weapon socket. Right? And there's nothing really much more than that. We don't do anything with the arrow, because the arrow is just a mesh, right, that's attached, but it doesn't seem to be attaching to the right place. Okay, now this isn't right, as I was saying before, right, this isn't a BP arrow, this is just an arrow, right, this is just a basic mesh, right, you can see that there it's a mesh, right, so we're not doing anything in particular with this particular mesh. Right, so I'm going to make that bigger again, and we're going to press play again, and I'm going to see how that affects our position, etc., and size. Now you can see that it's huge now. What's going on with that? And why does this look okay, but when we do it the other way it's not very good? I'm guessing... No. I was thinking there it's something to do with this. Right? But we're just keeping relative. Right, so why is this huge now? No idea. 0.25, right? I think I'm going to go through this and it's not going to make any difference here. Right, because I'm going to have to change it all anyway, because all the animations are going to change. Right, because the aiming isn't quite right. We haven't got the right set of animations, right? We've only got... Right, so this arrow... What that's attaching to, I have no idea. Right? Now, we could attach it, right? Let's have a look. So we've got our bow mesh, right? And if we take a look at this again, right, that's for the string. That's the left hand socket. right? And that's our string. I don't see, I think it's something to do with this, right? I don't know why it's doing that, right? Because basically if I click on this one, it's just that. So basically I want to copy this, right? And we're going to do that, and now we'll see how it looks. Okay. It looks like I don't know what it looks like, to be fair. Right, if we do that, I don't see the arrow anywhere. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut that, and put it in the construction script. Right, now look at that. That's supposedly in the right place. Except of course it's not. Right? Now that's not going to do anything. But anyway. Right. Give this one last try. And I don't see no arrow. Now we should at least maybe see a bit of arrow. Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll move the camera forward slightly. Right? So the camera was at minus 50, so it's minus 50, minus 90, right? Now, we should be able to see the arrow now if it's right beside the bow, I think. Alright. I don't see no arrow. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move that back. Minus 50. And this was minus 90. Right. I'm going to save that. And we're going to go back to the here and string socket. Okay. So we're going to go in here and we're going to go here, there, and we're going to say string socket. We're going to compile that, then we're going to viewport it. Where is our sodding arrow? Where is it? Right? It's just like, no idea where it is. Right? We'll do 0, 0. So it was something to do with location. And now, apparently, our arrow happens to be humongous. Okay, I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to try these different things here, these different options, to see if this makes any difference. Right, so that made no difference whatsoever. Right, now remember, this is at scale 0.25. Okay, now the interesting thing here is if I actually go to bow mesh, right, and I'm going to add another skeletal mesh, right, static mesh, can only have one skeletal mesh. That can't be right. Right, but we'll make that there. Okay. Look at that. Ah, that's the Asian bow. Right. We need the other arrow mesh, right? So we're going to duplicate that. We're going to attach it there. And that's 0.25. Right, I mean, what size is this if I make it 1? It doesn't even make... Look at that. That's bizarre. Right, so that would suggest... That would suggest weirdness, is what that would suggest. I mean, what? I mean, what? Look at the scale of that. Right, hang on a second. Right. Oops. Look at that. Where is this? Over there. I've got no idea why it's over there. Right, okay. We're going to zero this out. Now, as you can see, it's kind of right. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it. So, thank you guys for watching. I would appreciate it if you hit the like and subscribe. I'll be back at 8 PM tonight. And hopefully this will be working a bit better. So thank you guys for watching. Check out the descriptions for links to the game's Discord and my personal Discord, plus my Patreon and my previous game on Steam, which is available for $1. I will see you all later. Hope you can join me again. Thanks again for watching. Bye bye for now.